Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Rogue Legacy. Now, before we begin, I'd like to put up a bit of a disclaimer where I say that the music is different today. It's probably semi-obvious. Anyway, we're listening to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles OC Remix Shell Shock album. So, if you like this music, check them out. The OC Remix people are awesome, and did a very good job with this one. I really appreciate it. Anyway, let's hop into the castle, and you may be wondering, why you're even listening to other music apart from Rogue Legacy, and the answer is because the Castle Hampson song is very repetitive, to the point where I was going a little bit insane, and honestly, OC Remix music is, oh shit. This is... Well, I guess we're just doing this live. Goodbye. I was like, I'm gonna try and get through here, but I failed. Oh well. But yeah, so it just got to the point where it's like, yeah, let's listen to some different music, and I'll probably switch between listening to the real music and listening to OC Remix stuff because it's fair use. Therefore, I won't get copyright strikes for it. Hopefully. Either way, I figured I'd also use this series to expose, you know, everybody to different things that I like music. There's a little bit of weird music. I haven't really listened to this album that much, and might not listen to it again. We'll have to see what the other songs sound like, but it's kind of the point of experimentation. So, journal entry number 4. Everything about this castle is off. I can't seem to keep track of my headings. There's no sun or stars to guide me. I find myself backtracking constantly. I must painstakingly map out my progress, lest I go in circles. The maps I have pilfered off of the corpses of other adventurers are breathtakingly inaccurate. It's almost as if they're describing a different castle altogether. Perhaps this place does something to the mind. Or are the stones truly shifting beneath my feet? Could have told you that one, Princey boy. But go figure. Anyway, we got. Oh right, we've got the vampirism breastplate. Forgot just how useful shit like that can be. We also have the rune to boost up the difficulty. I'm not entirely sure what kind of, like, mystical reward it was talking about. At least I think I got that rune going. Because I thought it would give me, like, more money. Or, oh, maybe the enemies drop more money. That would... That is a problem. I leap up to attack, and my character's like, you want to attack anything but the eye? Okay, by me. And I'm like, no, oh well. I feel like the difficulty has been increased in more ways than just, This is a problem. Handling a Doomvis while dealing with spikes, not my kind of cup of tea. Either way, teleportation area. Probably don't want to stay here any longer. Well, we're going into the Maya anyway. Huh. I got Helios's blessing. How do I switch?
This is April O'Neil with Channel 6 News.
Or, oh,
What should be the site of the statue.
maybe it's just an item. Oh. It's a jukebox. Damn it. I don't want to have to alt-tab and turn off my music, so I guess today we are avoiding the jukebox. You may be wondering, why am I even in the Maya? I don't even know. I figured I'd be gutsy and insane. And it paid off. This is the kind of luck that I was not expecting myself to get, but I got anyway, so I'm not going to look any kind of gift horse in the mouse right now. This is the remix of the actual title thing. Yeah, I might actually get shit. This is a scary place to be. We're taking a lot of damage, so let's just get the heck out of here, head back, and just accept things. So, I might as well, kind of, I don't know, let's talk about stuff. I like talking about stuff while I play Rogue Legacy. It kind of gives me something to think about and do apart from just saying, like, this is what's going on in the game. Because, as interesting as this game is, well, after a certain point, there's not a whole lot going into it. It's just kind of, like, standing around hitting stuff and dodging things, which is cool, but, well, I run out of things to be interesting about. Wait, you can't hit me. Or you kind of can, but whatever. That worked. This is all working out fantastically for me. I'm just finding treasure left and right. Oh, can't complain. Oh shit! Forgot there was fire traps. Defeat all enemies. Well, this is gonna be a bit of an endeavor. Hopefully. Oh shit! It's a mimic. Well, this is a problem. I'm not even gonna deal with that room. We're almost dead, but there's no way I'm going to be able to fight all that stuff, especially with the difficulty increase. You know, let's teleport back to the big... Oh, shoot. We're just gonna die, aren't we? Unless Helios' blessing is useful. I don't remember. Okay, well, I think our chances... I said I was going to talk... I just teleported to where we already are. Whoops. So I said I was going to talk about stuff, and I got a little distracted because there's a lot of stuff going on in the level, and it's kind of hard to truly focus on the task at hand. Wop. Kind of wonder what Helios' blessing does. Oh well. Anyway, I figured seeing as we are listening to interesting, or quote-unquote interesting music, I would actually talk about, well, music. And, I mean, that's kind of a hideously open-ended thing to just say I'm going to talk about today. Interesting question. Who do we play as? Or who do we unlock? Spell Thief or Lich? Well, Spell Thief is probably going to give us access to more of the castle. Lich would probably do the same. I don't know. Well, I know what Lich does. I don't know what Spell Thief does, so we're going to go the route of adventure and see what's up top. Spell Thief drains mana from the enemies they hit. Infinite supply of mana. Heat of battle. Neat. And ride vortexes of magic and turn your Spell Thief into spell swords. Cool. I do not have enough money for that. Anyway, let's go this direction and just, I guess, see what we get. It's like, hey, we look identical to the previous guy we were playing as. Of course, because I haven't changed the equipment. Of course we're going to look identical. Anyway, so, music. I guess I might as well start from the beginning. My parents were never really big into music. Like, we had Raffi growing up, which, I mean, if you didn't have Raffi growing up, you probably were missing out on something in your childhood, and your parents were awful people. But, ow. Doomvis. You were the worst. Okay, so, yeah, Raffi is childhood. Especially when you're, like, on a long road trip, and my parents really liked road tripping. But that's a story for another day. So, as far as music went, we'd spend a lot of time either listening to Raffi or nothing at all. My parents tried, like, audiobooks and stuff, but the audio quality, especially in a car, kind of crap. So, largely our car trips were just us talking or silent, or eventually, like, my brother and I playing Game Boy. Which, you know, all fine and good. But, that bites a little. So, eventually, you know, being a young boy of, like, 8, I wanted to get a music CD because, well, TV and media, and I think it was, like, Power Rangers had a lot of, like, music in it that they like to show off, and I was like, I want to listen to music, too, on a Walkman and whatnot. Yes, I was not the most... Oh, shit. Got it. Whew. Vampire Rune, bracers. I was like, I'm not gonna make this. Yes, I am. Infinite sprint, apparently. But, so, I never actually got, you know, anything Power Rangers related as far as music went, and pretty soon after I lost interest in the series, because, well, once Power Rangers went on to, like, a completely different set of kids, my attention span kind of went out the window, and, it was just one of those things. Anyway, so I think the first music CD I ever bought for myself, or I guess requested my parents buy for me. I really hate it when this game does that. But I think the very first music CD I got, one way or another, was the Pokemon the movie soundtrack, with all the completely unrelated music that was like Britney Spears and stuff singing about something or another. I wasn't entirely sure where all the songs came from, but when it came down to it, it was music, and to, you know, my young ears, it was good music, even if in reality the only thing good that I can actually remember about that entire should have seen that one coming. I think the only thing good about that entire soundtrack was... it must have been the Poke Rap. And I think the second one had the Poke Rap too, which was... I mean, realistically, they're both kind of crap as far as, like, being a Pokemon fan goes. But at the same time, when you're a kid, Poke Rap is awesome. And nowadays, it's still pretty cool. Just, you know, you say it's like, I like the Poke Rap, and everybody's just like, oh, this kid's weird. Either way, another journal. Journal entry number 5. I cannot exit through the front gate, but that is of little concern. I'm committed to my cause, and I will not back out. So far, none of the maps I've found coincide with my own. Yet, upon comparing them as a whole, I believe I have unearthed a slight pattern. It seems like the forest is always to the right, the tower above. And below? Well, hopefully I won't have to find out. Yep, you gotta go down eventually, sucker. After this, I think we're going to the forest, but that won't be for a while. Pending survival. This is a bad situation to be in. Here we go. Okay, so, you know, first music CD was Pokemon soundtrack. I think I actually had like 2 or 3 of them by the end of my Pokemon obsession. At least as far as like my Pokemon TV show / movie obsession. I'm still big into the This is a concern. I wonder if he's going to give us anything. Ow. I think our only chance right now is to dodge and knock him back and kill the shit out of him. There we go. Wow. What'd we get? Blood Cape. Awesome. That was harrowing, but worked out well for us. Anyway, so... I still like Pokemon. There's no question about that one. Anyway, that was an awful room. Oh, and the gold that was in this room is gone. Oh well, we get more gold here. Hey, we're coming out pretty well as far as this run goes. I'm pretty happy about it. Anyway, so, yeah, I think I got like 2 or 3 of them and eventually decided that the music wasn't actually really that good. And I don't think I've actually listened to them since, but when it comes down to it, it was still a very good introduction to music. Helios' Blessing. Again, no idea what it does. I'll find out someday. Maybe it'll do something. But, Okay, here's how we're gonna do this. Let's get up. Avoid the ice on that guy. Get the chest before it goes away. And I think this is gonna work. Ow. Famous last words from the Wanderbot. I think this is gonna work. Ow. Okay, so we've got one more of these guys, and then I think we're golden. Just gotta... Oh, hey. Yeah, that's a lot of money. See, I figured they would just give more money per coin. Oh boy, I'm just gonna get out of there. Get the fuck out. Okay, so I've killed one. Question is, does he come back? The answer is no. Ow. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, music-wise, yeah, the Pokemon CDs, I think, were my main introduction to quote-unquote real music, or at least pop music, because I really didn't listen to the radio either. We lived in Southern California at the time, and honestly, I think this is, like, in the middle of, like, NSYNC and, you know, all the boy bands and Britney Spears being super popular. And, like, even then I kind of knew that music was crap. Catchy, but crap. And so, I don't know, couldn't really get into that stuff. But, I think my mother must have let my cousin know, or my cousin just kind of, like, had that weird cousin sense, where he sent me, music for Christmas. It was Real Big Fish and Flogging Molly, and I can safely say, I don't really like Real Big Fish. I'm sorry if you're a Real Big Fish fan, or were a really big Real Big Fish fan, but I just couldn't get into it. I think it was just too dissonant for me. But Flogging Molly, that's a different story. I loved Flogging Molly growing up, which was weird because, you know, a 4th grader really being into angry Irish singing, well, it was odd for me even then. But my parents humored it, and when it came down to it, I really enjoyed it for quite a couple of years. Every once in a while I go back to listen to it, though not nearly as much as I used to. I think I really liked how the voices and the harmonizing and music, not, even though I'm like kind of an audiophile as far as like quality and stuff goes, I don't actually know much about like production and I don't know, sound types. I'm pulling stuff out of my ass at this point, but realistically what I'm trying to say is I don't know much about like the actual technical singing and well, you guys get what I mean, and I'm just kind of stumbling over stuff. But yeah, so got bored of Real Big Fish, loved Flogging Molly for years. And at that point I actually started listening to the radio, and a lot of it was crap. A lot of it I did not like. But, you know, a lot of it, you know, maybe had a grain or two of, like, merit. Not a whole lot. But, nuts are you supposed to get through here? Wow. Nuts. Well, that sucks. Almost made it. Which would have been actually really cool, but I think I need double slide before I can get there. Problem is, we really did not have the health to afford. So, okay, so it started listening to the radio. Oh, this is gonna end poorly for me. No, maybe wall checking is gonna work out. Either way, let's go back to that boss chamber. So, I think in listening to the radio, oh, no. I didn't even discover this band until later-ish. But, I'd listen to the radio a lot, go figure. And I think, actually what I started first was, it was like 5th or 6th grade, it must have been 6th grade. My teacher, I think, homeroom/English teacher, had, let's see, where do we go from here? Wow, I've pretty much cleared out the castle. Homeroom/English teacher had, like, various music CDs, and it was, like, amalgamation CDs of various pop music. And realistically, most of the music on them was awful. Like, downright bad. That was gonna end poorly for me. Oh, shit. Okay. Ah, there was a chest there and I wanted to get it. I fucked up both times. Oh well, we still came out of there incredibly well off. Let's figure out what we can do. We can do the Gay Spell Thief. Barbarian King. Yeah, let's Gay Spell Thief. Let's go. Okay. Now, first, before we buy any of these upgrades, let's go in here. We're all shiny. Don't have as much health, though. Let's see, we... yeah, we already have this silver sword, so I even buy the knight sword. Okay, can I afford anything else? Oh, yes. Blood Cape. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna unlock it. And then move on. And then talk to her. So there's a rune here somewhere. There we go. Vampiric rune. That's gonna be useful. And I guess I can equip it, can I? Yes. I don't know if you can equip all runes. Also, I think I may have unequipped my sword, which is kind of a hilarious predicament now that I think about it. Anyway, what can I put points into? Equip up will be useful because it would let me use the blood cape, but it would reduce my health. I'm going to put it into armor. I'm just going to keep sinking all of my points into armor until we get to the point where... Give me my sword back. What? Apparently I have my sword equipped. It's just not visible as a spell thief. That's interesting. So it's like some kind of weird phantasmal sword. I like that. It's confusing, but cool. Anyway, so yeah, got one of those, and I got really into, I think it was POD, which had like really angry whatever music, but it was kind of like not quite like Jamaican music. Rasta with not Rasta. I don't know. I'm not good at my music types either, but essentially got into them for a while. And then we moved, and I was like, okay, well, let's get a couple of these music CDs, and eventually I discovered most of the music was a wee bit crap on there, so stopped listening to them altogether. It was an interesting couple of years, months, whatever, but grew out of them. Unfortunately, what I then grew into was Linkin Park. When you're, a 7th grader, you've got a really high-pitched, squeaky voice, and you really don't like a whole lot of people, you really get into, I wouldn't say questionable music. Linkin Park is mostly just, like, bad emo music for people. And they definitely do have some, like, really catchy songs that stuck in my head, and maybe that's why they were valuable. But, some part of me kind of regrets the decision to listen to them all the time. But maybe that's just because, you know, enough people gave me shit for it back in the day that, you know, just kind of the peer pressure ingrains itself into you. Hard to tell. Either way. So yeah, I'd listen to the crap out of them. I think I have like half of their albums. And realistically, I don't regret it that much. It was kind of one of those that got me through things, because, I guess that's another topic to talk about, kind of back on the track of social stuff. Talked about it a little bit, but I don't think I ever really touched upon social stuff back when I was in, like, middle school. But today's music. So I got into Linkin Park, gotten into Evanescence a little bit, even though I never got any of their albums for some reason, but whenever that, like, really popular song of theirs came on the radio, I would make sure I'd listen to the whole... Wow, this is an interesting room. But yeah, I'd make sure I'd listen to the whole thing, because, well, I really liked that song. I really liked all of their songs, and this is, like, back before the days of the internet where, like... Oh, right. I forgot I can do this. Duh. Anyway, back before the internet was really that big of a thing, so, like, it kind of was, but we still had dial-up because my parents didn't feel like paying more for, you know, being able to Google something faster. I've since convinced them otherwise, but at the time, you know, made perfect sense. Just trying to figure out how to kill the ice wizard without taking any damage, and actually it worked out fairly well. Okay, slight side note. Sorry for the little pop-ups in the right corner. I'd swear I turned them off several times, but I guess they have come back for some mysterious freaking reason that I'm not sure why. Okay, anyway, so, well, we're doing this. Okay, not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. And we got a lot of money, so I guess that means we've probably cleared out this area as far as, like, pickups go, so we can now start going to the forest to get, you know, more blueprints and runes and stuff. I think fairy chest-wise, I think we still have a lot to go, but we'll get there eventually. Anyway, Hermes boots. Does it just make me jump higher? I think it does. Anyway, so I keep wanting to talk about stuff, and what the heck? Okay, so apparently that was a Doomfist, and I didn't even realize, or some like crazy boss Doomfist. I was swinging at the candelabras and died. Wop. Oh well. We could do... Yeah, we're gonna do a Hokage. Sir Fleming, lead the way. So we've got a lot of money. Don't have a whole lot of uses for it. Ooh, but we can get attack up. I was really hoping I could get further and get, like, the Lich or something. But Doomfist ended that pretty short. Anyway. So, yeah. And I pretty much solely listened to Linkin Park, and a little bit of that pop CD and a lot of the radio back in the day. I think actually that was also the time when I discovered Kazaa, back when that service was actually still a thing. I don't know if it is, but man, do I remember pirating a fair amount of music back in the day. And realistically, it was kind of dumb, and I'm fairly certain that's the reason why my computer was so riddled with viruses, but at the time it made perfect sense to me, and I got, like, weird Sonic music, a couple soundtracks. It was an interesting time for me, and I learned a lot about computer management and files and piracy. Yeah. But I don't pirate music anymore. I have no reason. I got Spotify and OC Remix. Wish more people would OC Remix things, but oh well. Can't exactly request something of people that I wouldn't do myself, so whatever. Anyway, so yeah, listen to them for a while. I pirated some music, but I didn't really get into it. I think most of my piracy was done, like, think most of my piracy was done in late middle school, early high school, and then after a while I was done. Except for the one day where I tried to get everybody to give me every single song in the universe because I had a 2 terabyte hard drive and figured I could fit all of the MP3s. I think I actually had the most amount of music on my college's network at the time, but, well, there was no point to it, so I quickly deleted it all because it was taking up a very large hard drive, which I had better things to do with. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, even though, like, this entire thing is largely off topic, me just rambling about shit that I remember when I was younger. So, got really into music, kind of. I'd listen to music for, like, hours before going to sleep. Partly because I've got, like, kind of nasty insomnia-ish, where if I'm not actually tired, I will, I mean, go figure, but I'm really bad at going to sleep on command. I will just kind of sit there for hours staring at the wall. Even if I'm, like, dead tired, I'll be there grumping about it. It still happens, actually. Last night was one of those circumstances. But, yeah, so got into Linkin Park, a little bit of music piracy, and still generally kept with what I own just because I didn't have an MP3 player at the time. It didn't feel like burning CDs, so the only time I could listen to music was actually on the computer, and realistically didn't have too much of a reason to be on the computer then. I guess that was also when I started really getting into Baldur's Gate. But again, that's a completely different topic for a completely different day. But I think kind of what really pushed the whole music thing on me was, I had a pet rat. Loved my pet rat. Oh, there's only turrets in the middle. Interesting. Gotta worry about the spiky ball, though. Oh, but so, I had a pet rat. Loved it. Named it Martin after the Redwall series, which, again, another topic, another day. But, so, this pet rat, got it in California. It was a great pet. Loved it. And took care of it for years. But rats have, like, a 2 to 3 year lifespan before they pass away. So, of course, the first pet I ever lost was a rabbit when I was, like, 3. Barely remember that. All I remember is I was the one that discovered it was dead and didn't really understand the concept at the time. But so, pet rat dies, and, you know, I'm all broken up about it. Parents take me out to get food at, like, a restaurant, and I convince them to let me go to the music store and get something nice, and, you know, actually worked out fairly well for me. I think that was when I first purchased my own CD track, or no, that was the first time I ever purchased, like, a Linkin Park soundtrack, which, I mean, meh. Depending on your opinions on everything, may have been a bad choice, but at the time, it made a lot of sense to me, because it was, like, bitter, angry music, and I was kind of bitter and angry because, well, my best friend pet in all the world had just passed away. Oh, this is some kind of shitty nightmare. I'm just gonna run. I don't think I can fight the Barbadoses. I don't have enough firepower / like, health. If I was a Barbarian King, maybe. Ah, and I got killed by a Doomvis. I should have been paying attention to that and attacking.